Hey babe, I'm home. Watch party. That's where I was. Just, the Norway versus England game was hella stressful. Yeah, that's why I left the house wearing my Hatsune Miku shirt. Yeah. You know, the one that I modified just recently? Yeah. So, I've been, it's been so long. I just need to sit down with you for a bit and just yap your ear off, okay? Right over, dude. The Protestants actually tried to ban Christmas. Well, actually did ban Christmas from the year of 1647 to about 1660. To be fair, it was largely ignored by most of the population. And those who did abide the ban came up with their own like holidays such as Hogmanay. Like, they still celebrate in Scotland, so I mean, Protestants ban weird shit all the time because, like, you got your Catholics who have like all the weird relics and shit, like Saint Lucinda's like gouged out eyeballs. Yes, gouged out eyeballs. A whole story to that one. And then there's Bartholomew. Oh gosh, I don't remember his freaking name now. Oh damn it. But he actually wears his so he's flayed, but he wears his flayed flesh around like his shoulders like a cape. Yeah, like a cape, like a really weird, gross, fleshy as hell cape. Like, it's weird. And then Catholics, weird. And then Protestants, who are the definition of, oh no, your hands are idle, you're gonna commit a sin, blah, 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 blah. Ugh, drives me nuts. But, they're the no fun Christians, whereas, how I was raised, the Episcopals, who are just so supremely just chill. Mm-hmm. Like, when I say chill, I mean just genuinely chill. As long as you are not a racist, homophobe, or just generally a jerk, they're pretty cool with you. Speaking of, what was I gonna say? Oh, St. Lucy, right, duh. So, St. Lucy, or St. Lucinda, as she's more commonly known, or is it St. Lucia? St. Lucy, of course. But, so, the saint who gouged her own eyes out. So, funny story about that one. So, she did not want to marry these men in the slightest. So, what she did was, oh gosh, what did she do? Okay, so she was getting constant letters from all these guys going like, oh, you're so pretty, oh, I want to marry you, all these marriage proposals, and she's like, nah, bro, I'm for the Lord, I'm not the one for you. So, and this one, what made her finally snap was this one guy sent her a letter going on and on and on and on about her eyes. And she finally got fed up with his ass. So what did she do? She gouged her own eyes out and just mailed them to him. And once he got him, the guy who received the eyeballs freaked the fuck out. And God was like, hey, that's kind of funny. So here's some new eyeballs, girly. That was funny. Here's some new eyeballs. And you can pretty much carry around your old eyeballs on a platter. It is so utterly ridiculous what some of them will do for just for the sheer strange thing. It's it's so weird. And then there's the fun fact of evolution not being linear. When so we're taught about evolution in a very linear fashion from like chimpanzees to Homo sapien, Australopithecus, like Neanderthalis, all that kind of stuff. But, evolution is not like that because, of course, it isn't. Yay. So, it's more of like a death plinko. Yes, a death plinko. So imagine, you're a creature with a specific trait. There is multiple, like, little plinko things where, like, if the ball drops in there, you die. Your species dies out. And then there's a, like, little, like, basket where the ball can land where you live. That's like the plinko jackpot, basically. So, the little plinko ball with, like, a specific trait tied to a specific, like, Neanderthalis, Australopithecus, like, specific, like, human traits. Specifically, like, traits like, I'm going to use an example here of a sagittal crest. It's still present in, like, certain, like, other mammals like gorillas and chimpanzees, where there's like a ridge going across the top of your head where the jaw muscles also connect up, so when you bite down, there's more bite force to it. Yes. As if the human bite force wasn't terrifying enough. There's like this whole thing. So, like, imagine that little ball gets planked into the plinko machine, goes boop, 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 like, and falls into the death category. Like, just a very narrow chance of just continuing to evolve. Like, continuing on as its own, like, species without dying out. Fun fact, most of those, including Aflorensis, Africanus, and Neanderthalis, died out. So, fun. We got to continue on our merry way, as well as chimpanzees. Yeah. And then, continuing on that, like, the human biology thing. So, like any other statistic, like, the average life expectancy statistic can be very easily skewed. You remember, like, Spider's George. Are you not in line enough for that? Oh, crap. I should have gone with another internet weirdo, but hey. So, Spider's George is, like, an example of statistical skewing, of, like, having skew data. So, like any other statistic, like, the average life expectancy can be skewed, either positively or negatively. But, the average life expectancy can be skewed by infant and child mortality. So, anytime I hear a statistic of, oh, they got married at age 12 because blah, 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 because, that was the average life expectancy back then. They got married at age 15 because that was the average life expectancy for women back then. Well, yeah. No wonder your women kept on fucking dying. No wonder the women kept on dying around that age, because you were having them have children at such a young age. Or, you didn't wash your fucking children, or you washed your children in the dirtiest bathwater possible. Like, what the hell? And then, and it's like, I've heard people try and justify, like, child brides and marrying people underage because of that statistic. I'm like, or try to justify, like, weird pedophilic marriages among the upper class. With that statistic, it's like, girl, gross. On average, in the lower income, general population, women didn't get married till their 20s. If you are a working class babes, if you are working class, honey, you didn't get married till you were at least 20. Because you need to have all the skill sets to be a homemaker, as well as be able to do all these other tasks. It's like, you needed to have a skill set. It's like, are you insane? No, like, seriously. Mostly, and like the justifying of child marriages thing, no. If I ever hear you try and justify, like, that was okay, no! It was never okay. It was weird and gross. Even when the nobility back in the Middle Ages did it, it was still weird and gross. Still weird, still gross, still general levels of what in the fresh fuck is wrong with you people? Like, are you kidding me? Like, seriously. You know, but, you know, it's weird. It feels like the whole bloodletting thing. I mean, like, even in parts of the Islamic Golden Age Empire, yes, in 10, what, CE? Or was it BC? It was either 10 C or 10 BC. I don't remember which. I finished that project like forever ago. But they had straight up fucking hospitals. Like, straight up hospitals within the Islamic Empire, within like the general empire. It's like, holy crap, it's annoying. It's annoying because, like, oh, but we wouldn't really make hospital advances until recently. It's like, buddy, no. No, the fuck we did not. White people have probably made advances in the past couple of years, but holy fuck, the idea of un hospital, a hospital, is not fucking new. Like, holy crap. In the Islamic Golden Age, like, even within, like, the Islamic and Arabic, like, dude, like, their hospitals had the same, if not similar, structure to our hospitals today. They weren't nearly as hygienic as they are today, but holy crap, they had maternity wards, they had, like, whole things where the mother was able to give birth in a safe setting with people who were actually trained in this shit. You were able to get medical care by people who are trained in this shit. They even had an emergency department, for crying out loud. The emergency department is nothing new! And it's like, continuing on the medical theme. So, blood actually, like, I know this sounds, like, obvious when you really think about it, but, hear me out. Fun fact, blood comes from the bones. It makes sense when you think about it for a while, but, like, it's jarring to initially think of because, like, we're not, like, usually think about, like, where the hell the blood comes from. Blood comes from your bones, besties. Like, that's where you get fresh blood from. Like, all your dead blood cells come out your butt in the form of turds. Yes, if you are backed up. Dude. Oy. It's, whole thing. I don't remember the exact sciences, but blood comes from bones. As well as eating iron-rich foods. Like spinach and other such foods, like spinach, kale. Kale's nasty. Why the fuck would you ever actually eat that shit? Why? Oh, speaking of food, did you know that dragon fruit is actually native to the United States, even though it's more culturally associated with, Asia? Like, it's more native to the United States than anything. Like, it's native to the United States in the way that, like, tomatoes, potatoes, certain types of rice, certain types of grains, like beans. Beans are native to the United States. Well, not native to the United States, but native to the Americas. But just, if you consider how many foods are native to the Americas, and then how many of those foods are associated with actual other cultures, it's just insane. It's also insane how old, like, certain things are. I want you to try and guess here. How old are signet rings? Now, I'm gonna give you a multiple choice question. I'm gonna give you multiple choice here. Is it from, let's say, the Victorian era? You know, when Queen Victoria was still on the throne, Victorian, you know. And then, or is it from the medieval era? That's decently old. Or signet rings, medieval revival thing, whole thing. Or are they from Mesopotamia? I'm gonna give you a couple. I'm gonna give you a couple of seconds to really think through and give me an answer. All right. So if you guessed C, the Mesopotamia, you would be correct. If you guessed either medieval or Victorian, you'd be wrong. Like, sorely wrong. Because signet rings have been like a thing since we were able to like put our signature on anything or have a stock inventory system. Because you needed to sign off on that shit, bestie. Like, you needed some like form to easily like press into and sign off. There's also these like carved beads that are like, like that are just like from like the tip of your pinky to like your like halfway in between like your first and second pinky knuckle, like halfway in between. They are very small, like very like small details, and then once you roll them on like a wet piece of clay, they create like a beautiful pattern. It's like this gorgeous thing. It's really delicate work, and like, plus it was pretty easy to have like your signature with you because it was pretty hard to get your signature stolen off of you. Speaking of other things related to history, it bugs the ever-loving hell out of me when people call, the caduceus, the rod with two snake heads and the wings, like the symbol of healthcare. No, that is the caduceus. That would be more fitting for the postal service, Bessie. No, that would be more like suited for the USPS or like, some sort of postal service, because guess who that staff belongs to? It belongs to Hermes or Mercury, depending on which mythology you're mostly in, which one of the two. While the staff with like the one snake wrapped around it, that's called the rod of Asclepius, i.e. the deity of fucking healthcare. And then he has a daughter named Hygienia. You can't get. I'll give you $5. Not really, but like $5 to guess what her thing is with healthcare. Hygiene. Both Asclepius and his daughter Hygienia, as well as a couple of other Greek gods, are mentioned in the original Hippocratic Oath. If you look it up, it stayed that way till about 1970? Like, within, like, the 20th century. Like, it stayed that way until about sometime in, like, the late 20th century. Or sometime in the 20th century, it stayed about that way. Until, like, it was finally phased out, like, fully in the later part of the 20th century. And, they changed it so it's a bit more neutral and deity-free. Ironic. But it's like, seriously. It's like, the caduceus belongs to, like, it makes sense because, like, Hermes is like a psychopomp. A psychopomp is someone who kind of ferries someone to the afterlife. Yes, that's what Thanatos does. He is basically the literal god of death. Well, whereas like Hades is like the poor schmuck doing the paperwork. Yeah, gotta love paperwork. Anytime someone says blood is thicker than water, I mentally kind of like cringe, because like the full saying is blood of the covenant is thicker than the water of the womb, which it basically means the opposite of what they're trying to imply of, you know, which basically boils down to, like, the bonds of the family that you choose, i.e. your chosen family, i.e. the people you consider be your family, i.e. the people you actively choose to be your family members, are stronger, like, the bonds with those people are stronger than the people that you're related to, like, from the water of the womb, who are, like, you know, your family by DNA, or, like, your biological family, like, because sometimes biological family can pull some serious bullshit. Fun fact, bulls don't actually react to the color of the cape, but to more of the motion. Like, you know, there's also a large chance, like, it has been shown that, like, they're not reacting to color because bulls are colorblind. Yes, they are colorblind. They cannot see color. They can mainly see motion, and if the motion's agitating enough, they will charge towards the motion. And, like, speaking of, like, general animal stuff, so me and someone, like, you've met him. He's a good friend of mine. But we've been kind of both obsessed with this indie little number called Uma Musume. Yes, Uma Musume. And I've also been kind of obsessed with Golshi. The 12 billion yen incident is one of my favorite incidents. So, Goldship. Utter absolute shitling of the gold line. Absolutely funny. Just look up pictures of him. You'll know why. But, you know, 12 billion incident. Everyone bet on him to win. And he's like, nah, screw that. Fuck that. And just lost on purpose. Like, fully on purpose. It's like, gushy, 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 yeah, that's been kind of one of my vocal stems. Is you, gushy, 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 just been like, I have gold chip on the mind. まただよ. Yeah, just anime stuff. Okay, I'll let you get back to your game now. I've annoyed you enough. I have seriously annoyed you enough. Okay. Hey, thanks for staying till the end. I have been busy. Like, really busy. I just got my associate's degree. I'm getting my bachelor's in science. So, yay. I have been so busy. I'm transferring to another school for my bachelor's. So, you know, if you want to keep up to what I'm doing, please follow me on Bluesky, as well as, like, I have a Discord. Not a Discord, like, thing, but I'm on a bunch of other Discord stuff. You know, Overly Sarcastic Productions, I would highly recommend them for all the weird history shenanigans, as well as Journey to the West. I will, whole thing. Okay. I appreciate you guys being here, and I appreciate those who are still subscribed. If you have not subscribed, please subscribe. Please consider subscribing. I appreciate you all. Thank you.